What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on first take, they're going to be talking about, are the Dallas Cowboys taking advantage of Dak Prescott? So let's see what they have to say about him.
When you look at what the Dallas Cowboys have done, La'el Collins has been taken care of, Ezekiel Elliott has been taken care of. When you look, Jalen Smith has been taken care of. And so when I think about that, understand something. We always hear about how important the quarterback position is. And when you think about the quarterback of a franchise, you're not just looking for them to throw the football. You're looking for them to know the offense, know everybody else's job. You're also looking for them to be quintessential leaders because
And that's exactly why they're better sign Zeke. But because who else are you going to get that's going to know the offense like him and is the type of leader that he is? There's nobody else you're going to pick up with the amount of time that can do the stuff that he can do with the team at this point. They're Super Bowl ready. So let's continue.
They go. And so the level of responsibility that is placed on any quarterback is enormous. When you combine that with it being the Cowboys brand, and you being the successor to Tony Romo, the virtual adopted son of Jerry Jones.
And you never did a thing except the right thing.
Exactly, and the man's never done anything but the right thing. He hasn't missed a start. He started all 49 games. He was eligible to start in his NFL career. He's a two-time Pro Bowler, two-time division champion. He's already accomplished more in his young career than Tony Romo did in 8 years for you as the quarterback. And I recall Tony Romo getting paid an exorbitant amount of dollars. There is no excuse. Nobody should be asking Dak Prescott to take less.
I 100%.
Yeah, and especially Carson Palmer. I know he's a Trojan and all that, but who are you to tell anybody to take a pay cut? He's sitting there acting like he just won all these Super Bowls and he's just this baller. So I don't really want to hear anything from Carson Palmer, for one. And for two, actually, this is kind of good for Dak Prescott because if he would have signed a couple months ago, he would have signed at a lower contract. Now, with the more and more quarterbacks that sign after he does or before he does, that means that the market goes up. It goes up for him. And he's playing good. I know it's only been 1 week, but he's playing good. The market's going up for each quarterback that signs before he does. So this might be kind of good for Dak. Let them get on a nice, decent winning streak, and another quarterback signs, so it gets up to about $40 million. Oh, the Cowboys, you better sign sooner than later. You better sign sooner than later because you're going to be paying for it. You'll definitely be paying for it. Like I said, who else are you going to get? Are you going to say no and have Dak sit out or have him leave or whatever? Who are you going to pick up? What quarterback can you pick up that's going to learn the system and know it as thoroughly as Dak Prescott and be able to lead the Dallas Cowboys to the championship that they're ready for? Who are you going to do that? That probably won't happen until maybe mid-season, late season. By then, it'll be too late, and even next year. So, and you don't even know if another quarterback will be able to come in and gel with the team. So, I mean, you better sign him sooner than later before you pay for it, Mr. Jerry Jones. So, let's continue.
Agree with you, Stephen A. And there are going to be arguments made that you can make more money outside of football when you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But nobody's telling Aaron Rodgers, who I know we see differently than Dak Prescott. He's a two-time MVP. But when we see him on every commercial during every football game we watch on Sunday, nobody's saying you should take less money because now you make so much off the field. There's also not any credence to what Carson Palmer says to me because you took those deals. And even if you look at your career and say, you know what, I didn't win when I was making that kind of money. I didn't win when I was one of the highest paid in the league. You can't now ask Dak Prescott to take a home team discount or a hometown discount for a team that has to manage the salary cap the way they need to in order to fill the team on this field that is competitive in the NFC. You didn't ask La'el Collins to take that deal. You didn't ask Jalen Smith to take that deal. You didn't ask Ezekiel Elliott to come from Cabo and take a deal that he didn't want in order for him to play. So I don't believe that Dak Prescott should take a deal. Now, in the offseason, when I was here with Max, and we were talking about deals they needed to get done, whether it was Amari, Ezekiel, or Dak. I said it was Dak's deal. And I felt like because if you did Dak's deal at that time, you didn't have to pay the piper, so to speak. If you went to him and said, yeah, we have these three guys. You are our biggest three concerns, right? You are our biggest three guys we need to sign and we will sign, but we want you first. I think when you come to him with that, you say, okay, maybe I can work with you. But when you put me last, when you make sure Ezekiel's there, when you make sure Jalen's taken care of, La'el's taken care of, you have to pay me.
I think you're conflating two things.
So actually, let me jump in here real quick. So like I said, I think this might be kind of good for Dak Prescott because the price is just going to keep going up the longer Jerry Jones waits to do whatever. Like I said, if they keep winning and other quarterbacks keep starting before Dak gets signed, the price is just going to go up. There's no way it's going to go down. There's no way it's going to go down. And as far as Dak Prescott, we'll take a pay cut on the field, but you make it up off the field. I don't want to hear that type of trash either. Because I could be making max contract type money and make money off the field. Don't try and cheat me by saying, well, you make your money off the field. No, I want to get my worth on the field. Some people say Dak Prescott's not an elite quarterback, which I don't think he's necessarily a top 3 or 4 quarterback. But his value to his team, he's a number 1 quarterback, all right? He's the guy that's going to lead them to the Super Bowl if they can make it to the Super Bowl. So his value is huge. He deserves a max contract. And like what they said, he's never missed a game. He doesn't get in trouble. You shouldn't be praised for that because you're supposed to be doing that. But like I said, he's a good guy all around. They're winning. The team is stacked, so pay that man. And don't have him ask for take a pay cut, and then you can make your money up on the side where the team doesn't have to do. No. It doesn't work that way. I'm going to make a max contract on the field, and then I'll still make more money off the field with commercials and endorsements and all that happy trash. So let's continue.
One, this is what Carson Palmer's saying. And 2, what the Cowboys are actually going to do. My prediction, based on what I've seen, is they're going to reset the market with Dak. Because they swore they weren't going to do it with Zeke. And he's 2 years out, right, and he's just the running back, and they reset the market 2 years out after saying they wouldn't. I expect them to reset the market with Dak. I think this is something else. Carson Palmer's saying, if he's smart, this is the way I take it. This is the way I think. If he's smart, because Dak is not a dude who's going to elevate a whole team and win a Super Bowl. Dak is a guy, you put him on a good team, that's the right quarterback. Now, if he's smart, he will do the Tom Brady and not the Russell Wilson.
Well, let me get on
two great Super Bowl quarterbacks on great teams. Right. One of them always restructuring his deal, working with the team, winning multiple Super Bowls. The other one, who gets paid a lot, not in quite the same situation.
You can't ask that man to do that. You can't ask him to do with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the exception to the rule. Tom Brady's going to make his money regardless, and you best believe he's not being cheated. But he's making his money up somewhere, either at the back end or some way Tom Brady's making his money. And again, that's not the rule. That's the exception. You can't ask that man, take a pay cut like Tom Brady because you're not as good as everybody thinks you are. His value to the Dallas Cowboys is the value of a number 1 max contract quarterback. Like I said, if they're going to go to the Super Bowl, it's going to be with Dak Prescott. It's not going to be with anybody else because nobody's going to be able to come in and learn a system fast enough for them to be able to play with them. And the players might not like them. There might be a couple issues. You have a good thing going on right now with the stacked Dallas Cowboys football team. Pay that man his money and just worry and focus on getting to the Super Bowl and make sure everybody stays out of trouble. That's almost an insult to tell me, take a pay cut like Tom Brady. Don't give me that trash. Don't try and play me. So let's continue.
Max, let me get on you about that. The reason why your argument to me is not as strong in this particular situation is because it's the NFL. The license to restructure is why they should pay him, because you can always go back to him after you've committed to him and validated him and say, we're trying to do things, so now we're in a partnership. We'll work with you to restructure a deal so we can position ourselves to get these dudes down the line. That's entirely different than denying him what he has worked for and has already earned. And far too many occasions, when they talk about, listen, just watching Dre on Power with the nice guys finish last line, that's one of the things that's incredibly annoying. When you put in the work, when you produce, when you're the model citizen, when you're the leader, when you're all of these different things, sometimes it gives people in the positions of power a license to take you advantage and deny you the appreciation you deserve because they know you're the good soldier.
And also, it's going to be all fun and games until the Dallas Cowboys start out 5-0, 6-0, and Dak says, I won't be playing this week until I get my $40 million straight up. Uh-oh. It's going to be all fun and games till the Dallas Cowboys start out 5-0, 6-0, and Dak Prescott walks into Mr. Jerry Jones' office and sits down and says, I will not be playing from here on out until I get my, now it's $45 million a year contract. And if you don't believe me, test it. Call my bluff. So let's continue.
I want to throw it to you. You make a very good point. Yeah. Get the money and then restructure later, right? The reason I bring up Russell Wilson and Tom Brady is they were both in excellent organizations with excellent coaches, excellent teams, the whole thing. and they both reminded me of Dak early. Game managers, big on third down, good under pressure in the playoffs. He reminds me of a version of Russell Wilson or Tom Brady. They took different approaches. Russell Wilson's like, pay me,
right,
and they couldn't afford to pay other guys, and the team kind of has stalled a little bit in recent years. And Tom Brady's like, I'll work with you. So I think Tom Brady is the model for Dak.
Russell Wilson's first deal before this one didn't set the market. He didn't put himself in a position to be the highest paid because at the time, he wasn't seen that way because of the way the Seattle Seahawks played football. Now this contract is a little bit different. I do believe that Tom Brady...
It wasn't the last contract, Russell Wilson, wasn't that his rookie contract? I'm pretty sure that was his rookie contract. Was it like 6 years ago? Actually, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about with that. So let's continue.
Understood what Bill Belichick was. He understood what the New England Patriots organization was.
Also married to someone that's almost
but that was later though. He wasn't taking deals that were setting the market. He also wasn't seen as a Peyton Manning at the time.
Sure.
Dak is in a different situation. But he's in a different situation to where every guy when he gets his turn is the next guy. And so in seeing how the way that's worked, the way that the Cowboys have gone about setting their contract structure, it's time for Dak to get paid, and he's going to get paid a lot of money and will be the...
You're right, Dak is going to get paid. Like I said, don't they get to the week 5 and week 6 and they're undefeated and he still hasn't been paid and other quarterbacks are getting paid. I'm telling you, it's going to be all fun and games until Dak shuts it down. I bet you Jerry Jones will bust his pen out right there and sign that little contract or sign him a check right then and there. I guarantee you it. I guarantee you it. And as far as what Molly just muttered about, Tom Brady's wife she makes a lot of money off field. That's not the point, okay? I couldn't care if my wife makes, $1 billion a year. I'm talking about me and my contract and my worth. I'm not worried about anybody else. Who else brings more bread home in my household? I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my contract and how much my worth is and how much I should be paid. So it doesn't matter how much anybody else is making in my household, Molly. So let's continue.
I think it was too. I don't think that's what Carson's point was, but I think
Carson's saying take the discount, but look at this as well. There was a lot of success for Tom Brady's team when he was on a small deal. A lot of success for Russell Wilson's team. This team hasn't been as successful. So what's to say they'll do the right thing?
Winning double digits every year.
Here's what we know.
But again, Tom Brady is the exception. He is not the rule. He is not the rule. Like I said before in other videos, we are in uncharted waters with Tom Brady. He is the super exception to the rule as far as contracts, as far as how old he is and still playing at a high level, as far as winning Super Bowls. We are in uncharted waters with anything and everything concerning Tom Brady. So don't try and use him as a crutch or an example for anything other than being great. So let's continue.
He hasn't missed a game. He's been a model citizen. He deserves to be a franchise quarterback. Now it's just a matter of, yes, he deserves his money, but could he take a little bit off if they're trying to pay some other people?
Remember, Molly, is football. So every week that you deny him what he has earned, he's going out there and jeopardizing himself. Remember, Zeke didn't want to come. Zeke didn't want to come because Zeke is like, listen, I got to get on the field. You beat my body down. I got to get paid now. Well, this dude is going to drop back in the pocket, throwing passes in regular season football games against